Let's fill out the Illinois Eviction Notice together, the written notice a landlord serves before an eviction case can begin, and check what the state asks of it as we go. Start at the top with the date of this notice. Then the landlord's name, in our example Anna Baker, and the tenant's, here Ben Carter. The form asks for every tenant and every adult residing at the premises, so list each one on its own line. If the lease has a guarantor, name them too, and if a line does not apply, write NA rather than leaving it blank. Next, the leased premises. Type the full street address, including the unit number, exactly as the lease describes it, then the city, state, and zip code on the next line. The notice and the lease should describe the same premises, so copy it word for word rather than from memory. Now the terms. Name the lease document you are enforcing and its date. Here a residential lease agreement dated June 1, 2023. The next blank, the number of days the tenant gets, is set by your state's law. We cover it in the requirements in a moment, so fill it in after checking that. In our example, the problem is unpaid rent, so we tick past due rent, enter $1,200, and describe the period, February rent, due on the 1st. We tick late fees, $50, then the total amount due, $1,250. Tick only the boxes that actually apply and be specific. A vague notice is easier to challenge. If you're a landlord dealing with a tenant who hasn't paid rent, here's what your state requires for a proper eviction notice. First, the notice must be in writing. You need to notify your tenant in writing, giving them not less than 5 days after service of the notice to respond. Now, here's something really important about partial payments. If a tenant pays some, but not all, of the rent owed during that notice period, the notice is not automatically invalidated, as long as the payments don't add up to the full amount demanded by the end of the notice period. So partial payments alone won't cancel your notice. Your written notice must include this exact required language. Only full payment of the rent demanded in this notice will waive the landlord's right to terminate the lease under this notice, unless the landlord agrees in writing to continue the lease in exchange for receiving partial payment. There is one exception to the partial payment rule. Then the signature block. Print the landlord's name, sign on the by line, and add your title on the its line, here owner. The certificate of service records when the notice was delivered, how and to whom, complete it when you actually serve the notice, and use the notary block if your state or your attorney asks for sworn service. Keep a signed copy of everything for your records. Remember, this is general information, not legal or tax advice.